I think we're all here. Let's go. Sean's disappeared as well. Sean is here somewhere.
What?
Oh, there he is.
Hello,
He's working
hello.
up now. All right, let's get this cracking.
So we're going around Monza then, a 3.5 mile circuit, then 11 turns then around the around this Temple of Speed circuit. It's going to be fantastic, isn't it? Of course, this is a part of the lockdown which is going on. So absolutely fantastic stuff for what Knowlesy has done here tonight to put it all together. And of course, because of lockdown as well, let's just do a quick friendly reminder about. At 8 o'clock, I think, tonight is if you stand outside your doorsteps or out your windows or whatever, and just have a 1 minute round of applause for our NHS then. As they've been doing a fantastic job. Anyway, so this is all about a bit of fun, really, isn't it, Knowlesy? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I've actually got you in the commentary box as well tonight as well. So,
yeah, I'm allowed to speak. I can speak this time. So usually, I'm just sitting there in the party when the ALR races are on. So yeah, it's just a bit of fun. This one, just a bit of one to ease the boredom, hopefully.
Definitely, and the boredom needs to be eased as well. Gosh, this has been a longer day today. My first day working from home. I have never been so bored in my life.
I've been doing that for 2 weeks already. So
it's awful. And ironically, from 4 o'clock till about 4 o'clock to half 4, it got busy. Then I decided to go and get some food. And then came back in 5:30 till like 5:45, 10 to 6. They all just started messaging me. So yeah, good stuff, guys. So I don't know what they've been doing all day. So yeah, so nothing new to that. But hey, who doesn't matter about that? What matters is that we're going to get racing around at Monza as well. Of course, I think Monza's a good track as well to select. Of course, Italy has been one of the more worst affected countries, hasn't it? And you see that we got a Toon fan actually there, which is making a return to ALR, and hopefully he can get a finish tonight, Knowlesy.
He should do, hopefully, because the damage is off, so he can't damage his car. So yeah, so that was the idea. Obviously, it's a long race, isn't it? So it's about 75 minutes. It says on the strategy, anyway, to complete the whole race, including the pit stops and everything. So yeah, it's a long one, but it's actually one of the shorter ones on the calendar, I think. So yeah, so Toon, yeah, I hope you're watching, and good luck to crossing that finish line at the end, mate. So
I've got to say he would do something special to not finish this race, but I've got to say I'll be impressed. But yeah, you're exactly right. This track is a quick track as well. I think 2004 wasn't it the shortest F1 race in history or something like that? No, it wasn't. It could have been, but I think it rained, didn't it? So that's what. But it could have been the shortest race in history. I think usually it's only averages about hour and 20 minutes, something like that, which is ridiculously short for an F1 race, isn't it? Usually they average about an hour and 30 minutes, don't they?
Yeah, so
it's on pole position.
It's about that, isn't it? So yeah, well, I'd like to see that grid because it's put Glock right at the back and Paulie Orange as well, both in the same team in the McLaren. So that's pretty good. Hopefully they can have a nice clean battle up the way, up to the top of the standings anyway. But yeah, Granty in P7, I think he's going to do well, and obviously Fireshot in the Williams there in P8 as well.
I know I've got no graphics, so that's good stuff. I'm glad you're I'm glad you're presenting tonight, Knowlesy, because I can't see the tower.
Oh right,
so
okay.
That is absolutely fantastic.
That's a good point. I forgot about that. Obviously, I didn't realise I was the commentator today, did I? So yeah, so I'll put it on now. Have you got anything there now? You're on the stream, aren't you? So yeah, it should have all of the info there. I've just reminded myself now. I'll keep going through flicking through the position changes and things like that when we see them. So yeah, I'm used to you doing all of this stuff, and now I'm having to do it myself. So yeah, it's it should be a good race. It could be a bit of fun anyway. So yeah, as I said, the damage is off, and it's just a question of endurance, really.
I was also saying that on my screen I've got nothing at all. I've got no tower or anything. All I've got is a map, and that's
really?
it. So good stuff. Yeah, as we've already got a car off in the wall there.
Yeah, I think Twan's just going for a little scenic drive around Monza there for a bit, just cutting the grass for a bit. Oh, he's leading now. He's taking the lead. There we go. He's going to finish the formation lap very quickly.
I gotta say, Twan is a very quick driver, isn't he? So I think he's just showed off, isn't he? And he's got a new helmet as well. I love a good helmet, don't I? So
always banging on about the helmets. It's just always about the helmets with this guy.
It is. It's one of the most important things in my life. Actually, I do. I got to say that a driver's helmet is a signature, isn't it? So it's based like a football player's number, in my opinion. You got to, it just symbolises what kind of driver you are and stuff like that. Anyway, enough about that. Knowlesy, you going to take us through the start?
I could try. Well, I'll give it a shot anyway. So, we've got Stringy is going to lead the way into turn 1. So we're just going to get going now, and we are racing, as Sean would say. Sorry, no, it's not started yet. Always with ALR. That's probably my connection. But we're on the way. We're on the way now. Yeah. So here we go. So Stringy still leads down to turn 1. We've got Samuel, Twango, and Nigel. FIFA Beefy is taking over from Nigel's place in 4th place, and we've got a bit of contact. Well, there's no damage, but we've got a bit of contact. Stringy's just completely cut the first chicane, and we're still on the way. So I don't know how quickly it's going to sort of space out a bit. So yeah, here we go. We've got, Twan's just taken over 2nd place from Sam. And it's going to be quite tight into the chicanes, isn't it? I think the first few chicanes in the first couple of laps are going to be pretty close with all 15 drivers here. Actually, sorry, I was going to say 20. All 15 drivers going to be battling for quite a few laps at the beginning, obviously until the spaces appear.
Well done to FIFA Beefy, going up to 4th position there. Good stuff indeed. Then we're on. No, we're not on board with the Red Bull. We're on board with the Mercedes at the moment. No, I'm a couple of seconds behind, I think. So I need to start watching the stream.
I'm on board with Glock because he's gained 7 positions already. Emerson's joined. I don't know if he can get in the car. It might be a bit late, but yeah. Oh, as Nigel's just gone off in the Parabolica, but yeah. So we're on board with Glock. So he's gained 8 positions now. Sorry, he's on the back of FIFA Beefy. He started all the way down in 13th, I think it was, but the field's still really close.
They are indeed. Stringy, though, is going to come under a lot of pressure now from the twang in the racing point, as he's got the fast lap of the race there. So Stringy, I think, has been a naughty boy somewhere around the lap and got his lap invalidated. He's going to go on the outside to turn 1. Oh, goodness me, that's a cracking old move there from Twang.
He's got it. Yeah, so I think, Twang, you can see, started on the softs, hasn't he? So, yeah, he's going to be a bit faster at the beginning of the race. Oh, Toon's got a penalty. Well, Forza's been taken out, it looks like, by Toon at turn 1, so he's absolutely spun it all the way around. And there's another. It is Toon. Sorry, it is Toon going slow in the Toro Rosso there, overtaken by Fire Shot there in P14. But we'll go back to Glock, because he's the one who's gained the most positions. He's already up 9 positions now, so he's on the back of Samuel already on the 2nd lap.
I hope Toon bought.
Sorry, Sam's gone off. Sam's gone off. He's had a massive crash there. He's had a massive crash, and he's just correcting the car. I think he can get back going. He should be all right. Obviously, there's no damage, so the car's all right. But he's just making sure that he rejoins safely, so that nobody else gets taken out by him joining the track again, which is very good sportsmanship from him. Well done.
Yeah, bravo there. Well done, Sam. I would have steamed back out, to be honest, but that's because I got no track awareness or anything like that, and I don't care about other drivers.
You'd do a Seb Vettel, wouldn't you, mate? Just be like, there's nobody there, just go for it.
Doesn't matter anyone else, all that matters is myself. So if anyone's actually seen me race, then yeah, no holds barred I am. Oh, Glock's at the fast lap of the race. He's looking spectacular again, isn't he, Glock?
He's doing well, we've got Nigel here. Nigel's overtaken Beefy now, so he's getting back up to speed, because I think he started 4th, didn't he, Nigel? And no, he's not. He started 5th, sorry. He has gained 1 place. It says it right there, mate. So yeah, it's just going to be it's going to be a question of tyres, because I think it looks like there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's pretty much half the grid are on soft tyres and half the grid are on medium. So some of them are going to go a bit longer.
I gotta say, that's nice and juicy. I love it when the strategy's like split down the middle, isn't it? Because it just shows that these experienced drivers don't really know what to do they, on strategy? And I think that's absolutely good stuff, especially when this game's been out for almost a year now, hasn't it? It'll be a year in a couple of months. My goodness me, time flies when you're having fun.
I wouldn't say that, Sean. I'd say they know exactly what they're doing, because I think the strategy, for a 100% race anyway, for a strategy around here, I think it is softs. 2 stints on the softs and 1 stint on the mediums. So I don't know whether those guys are just getting the medium tyres out of the way first and then going for it on the softs, because obviously there is no change in conditions in this one. It's going to be clear all the way through.
And that's a very good point, actually. See, I would have gone for a 4-stop strategy probably because I would have been in the wall. And I know there's no damage on, but I'm sure I'll find a way to damage my car somehow or another. I think Emerson is just talking to himself, and he's realised that he can't drive, so he's left. So unfortunately,
sorry,
Emerson, I think he needs to work on his timekeeping skills there, as we were set to go off at 6 o'clock. And yeah,
I mean, even Sean managed to get here on time, so come on.
I know. Actually, I was early, wasn't I? Well, early for me anyway. I was actually online about 5:30, I think.
Yeah, it was a record earliness, I suppose you could say, from you, because every time we've got an ALR race on Sunday or a Monday, I'm having to message Sean in the admin chat saying, "Get on, mate, because you're worrying me, getting too late." So, oh wait, we got Young Lights has gone off in it was just between the Lesmos. I made sure there's an M there, not a B, just because I usually say that. But yeah, so we'll go on board with somebody else now. So we've got Beefy, who's been overtaken by Granty, and I think
we'll keep it PC in there.
Yeah, PG, PC, everything. So what? He's retired from the session. What's he doing there? I thought he was going to make it through.
There.
He must have had enough. He must have had enough because there's no way he could have damaged the car, I don't think. So yeah, we'll see him. We'll see him another time. So yeah, we'll worry about somebody else now. But I think Glock's already caught up, or he's catching up to the back of Twan already, isn't he? So I reckon if he can get past Twan quite quickly, maybe on the next lap or on the 7th lap, then yeah, he'll be front runner for a win on this one.
Indeed, and unfortunately for Toon, that's in every ALR race that he's ever participated in, he is unfortunately retired. So I think that's 8 race retirements now for Toon.
That's a great record, really. You want to have that record, don't you? So you can't beat if you can't beat the record at the top, you've got to go for the record at the bottom. So
exactly,
that's the way to go.
In my world, any record, it doesn't matter what record it is, most DNFs, whatever, most fire shots per time as well.
Okay, that was quick. So yeah, we'll take that. That's 2 drivers out on after 5 laps, so we've only got another 47 to go. So yeah, we'll see how many we finish with. So.
And as you said there, Glock, who is on the soft tyres, is not really starting to put the squeeze on Twang, isn't he, in the racing point? And I got to say, Twang looks very good in the pink, doesn't he? I got to say, looking very fetching tonight.
Exactly, yeah. I think he's originally in the Renault, isn't he? But so he's seen a comment from Fireshot. But yeah, sorry, yeah, he's originally in the Renault for on Sundays, isn't he? And he's not had a great bit of form, rather, if I can get my words out. Not had a great bit of form in the season so far, but he's a very good driver, a reliable driver, isn't he? So we've just got Echo getting past Todd. Sorry, I'm trying to see which name it was. Got Echo going past Todd there, down into the first chicane. So he's gained another place there. So that's good for Echo.
We're also on a juicy scrap between Lights, Fisher, and one of the Ferrari drivers there as well of Forza. So yeah, that's looking very tasty, isn't it? In the battle for lemon time, we've got another tasty battle just in front as well between Echo, one of the Haas's, and also we've got a Williams leading that battle as well. Oh gosh, so they're all starting to now kind of creep up to each other, aren't they? So this is going to look very tasty, isn't it? Of course, no damage there, so I'm wondering if we're going to see some elbows out a bit more extreme than what we normally see. Even though I've got to say, in ALR races in gold especially, we do see a lot of extreme racing, to say the least. But no damage today. I think that we might get a bit rude.
So, no comment. So yeah. Silver's great, isn't it? But anyway, what was he saying? Yeah, so back to Echo. It looks like well, he's got to make that move stick because he's got to get up the road quickly because obviously he's got pit earlier than these 2 guys around him. So he's got past Paulie Orange, but he's got past Beefy as well in the Parabolica, both in the same turn. That's great overtaking there from him. So yeah, he's going to have DRS, I think, as well, to get away from these guys. So he needs to carry on and get up the road because obviously he's got to pit a bit earlier than these guys who are going to be going a bit longer into the race.
That's a bit of an insult to injury, isn't it? Where you get over to where you take someone, then you have DRS as well. It's kind of like nah.
You've got to rub it in a bit more. So,
yeah, I know. But
maybe it's good timing. It's good timing, isn't it? It's good timing. So he just made sure he knew when he was doing his overtake that he was going to get DRS at the same time. So it's all calculated from
Yes.
him. So, having said that,
Oh,
he's in the gravel there because Beefy has pushed him off a bit, I think. And Beefy's taken the place back, and Echo's all the way down in 11th now.
I think FIFA actually launched off that curve there, and my goodness me, those curves have been lowered in recent years, haven't they, for safety and all that? But wow, FIFA Beefy on my screen took flight there, but then again, I'm having my dodgy internet connection.
I didn't see that bit. So that's all right. But he's going all the way down the order now. He's under pressure from Young Lights, who is lagging a bit, and we don't like that because we've seen that before. But Nigel's taken over P3 from Stringy. And Glock's away out in front. I didn't even notice Glock's overtaken Twan already, but yeah, so Glock's out in front. So yeah, congratulations to Glock leading this race already. Started P13. Is Stringy going to get Nigel back here is the question, and it doesn't look like it. Just about.
I gotta say, it's
close one.
This is a great old battle, isn't it? I'm loving this there, and this is kind of maybe a peek into the future as well. As we got drivers from gold and silver here tonight as well, isn't it? It's really good to see VTOD battling against the likes of Stringy and all that kind of stuff, isn't it? It's really good stuff indeed. Well, it's Fisher, sorry, in the Renault, but they're both the same person, I think, Stringy and Fisher. As so as they come around. I've never seen them in the same room together, but then again, I've never seen any of these guys in the room. So who knows? I reckon
you don't want to be alone in a room with Sean. You just don't want to be in that room.
No, you don't.
Just get out as soon as you can.
Especially when the lights go off. Anyway, enough about that. Christ, this is getting downhill quite quickly, isn't it?
Well, it's a good bit of fun. It's a good bit of fun. The midfield battle here. I was going to say in silver, the midfield battle is really close. Pretty much from P2 because obviously Glock's in there. So from P2 down to P16 or so, P17, something like that. Most of those guys can rival each other all the time. So they're pretty much stuck together for the whole race. And we're sort of seeing that here with Echo in gold, obviously, but VTOD, FIFA Beefy used to be in silver as well, and Young Lights there as well. Well, with Forza right behind him too. So yeah, it's just it's Sam being the rear gunner at the moment. But these guys right here are just sort of swapping places all the time, and they've got all in the DRS zone of each other as well.
We got our first pit stop here. I think it's Forza coming in the pits for the Ferrari team, and I think Forza's happy that he's in the Ferrari, of course, being Forza Ferrari and all that. And he's just swapping on to another set of soft tires there. So that's why you're the expert, Knowlesy. You nailed that strategy perfectly. Whilst I would have been like, why is he going on softs again? So that's why.
It's a bit of a longer race, this one, isn't it? So yeah, usually we're used to our 50% races where it's usually a one-stop, isn't it? So this one's a bit more interesting.
Well, all our races are interesting, though, aren't they, Knowlesy? I mean, every single race we have something that's something peculiar happens.
It's always a spectacle. Always a spectacle in ALR. Of course it is, mate. Yes. So it's just this one's obviously because of the dreaded virus that's going around. I don't think you're allowed to say it because if you say it on, obviously it's not a problem for me because I'm not monetized, but apparently if you say it on YouTube and you are monetized, that video automatically gets demonetized.
Oh, okay.
So if you say
I know what demonetized is.
Well, you don't get any money from the ads, but obviously we don't have to worry about that on this channel. So
I thought he was getting paid.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was going to give you that hot dog that I was going to send over to you, wasn't I?
I'm really good because I bought a monster thinking that I'm in the big bucks, but obviously not. Colin Oliver's joined as well, so
got another late joiner. I don't think he's going to be very impressed when he can't get in. So yeah, all right. Well, we're down to 13 anyway. We have 15 on the grid when we started. Unfortunately, Toonfan and Fireshot have decided to disappear, even though they couldn't actually retire the car themselves. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We've got Stringer on the back of Nigel, so I think those soft tyres, because he's obviously seen Forza already pit, those soft tyres might be going off now.
And Cod Oliver can't get in, so he's locked out for saying we're all locked in. So there you go. That's a nice little liner for you. Well,
it is a lockdown, isn't it? The whole point of it is a lockdown. So yeah, we're locked in, we're locked out. Either way, we're locked down.
I know. I gotta say, this Mercedes.
Come on, Sean, laugh at my jokes. Come on, mate.
Oh, yeah, I did. I had a tickle, and then that was it. I was really enjoying that battle with the reason why I did laugh is because obviously this amazing battle between the Mercedes of Lights and FIFA Beefy. I gotta say, FIFA Beefy was defended for all his worth there, but a good old overtake there for Lights. I gotta say, Lights does have some really good pace there in his Formula One as FIFA's left for session as well. So they're dropping like flies here. I gotta say, I think I'm not sure if the 100% race we might have. I think we might have 10 cars left by the end of it.
10 will be a good shout, I think. Well, I'm not expecting everyone to finish it, obviously, because it's going to be a long race, and obviously it's it's just a bit of fun. But at the end of the day, it's still a bit taxing on you, isn't it? So yeah, if people don't want to finish it, it's fair enough. But obviously, we would like everyone to finish it, and it seems like Glock's going to be keeping going for a bit because he's got a 3.6 second lead already, and he's still going out up front even when he started 13th. So nobody can hold a candle to him at the moment.
No, I've got to say, Glock is absolutely formidable. One of the best drivers I've ever commentated on Glock is. He's so quick and so impressive as well. And bearing in mind, we've had some very strong drivers in ALR, aren't we? Of course, we had Jochen when he first debuted back in the first season of Call Over's F session after realising he can't get in. We had Jochen, didn't we, in the first couple of races, and he was quick as well. We've had Vesey, who's made a recent return as well, but he was quick in the first couple of races as well. So to say that Glock is probably one of the fastest drivers is, that's a pretty immense accolade to say, really. So yeah, Glock, he's all right, isn't he?
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, it's a shame he doesn't have a mic because obviously we do the interviews after every race on Mondays for Silver, and he can't join and have a chat about it and have an interview from you. But yeah, otherwise he's good fun to chat to. In the group chats and everything, so it's just a shame that he's too good, really. So he's got a great setup on the. Well, he's using a pad, but he's got a wheel as well. But he's actually not using the wheel. So we want to try and get him onto that wheel to see how bad he's going to be to start with. So
that's a really good idea, actually. He has to race the rest of the season with a wheel. I reckon he does have a mic, to be honest. I reckon he just doesn't want to talk to me, to be honest, which is fair enough.
That's fair enough, yeah. It's understandable, isn't it?
I mean, as soon as the race is over on Mondays and Sundays, you're like, see you later, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
No, okay. Get the standings done, mate. Get out. Bye.
Yep, goodbye. I was like, oh, fair enough. Well, there you go. But I think it's just the old Forester accent, isn't it? As Twang is dropping down the order quite rapidly there, isn't he? So Twang, yeah, I think
going slowly. I don't know why, but we'll find out. I'm sure. Maybe he's left a comment. Let me have a look at the comments. Oh, bear with me. I've got to load my comments now. You could do the comments, Sean. You're not streaming.
Oh, well, the only comments I've seen so far is Droffer saying evening, or what if you say the Rucon virus? What? I don't even know what that is.
Well, yeah, that'll work because obviously you can't pronounce it. So, but then again, that's pretty much everything anything with a name you can't pronounce. So yeah, it's all good.
It takes a couple of races.
But yeah, so obviously, I think Fours has just overtaken FIFA Beefy, who's ghosting, I imagine. Let me have a look at him, see what he's doing. Yeah, he's ghosting. I don't know whether he's lagged out of the session. Might have lagged out of the session. So yeah, maybe he's got a problem with his internet there. But hopefully he'll get an invite, or he can just join back with somebody else. But Fours has gone past Sam there as well into the first chicane. Bit of a dodgy overtake because he sort of missed the chicane and went over all of the rumble strips there, but he managed it. And now we've got
any overtake's a good overtake.
Well, there you go. I mean, you've heard it from Sean himself, so yeah, now it's definitely certain. So yeah,
doesn't matter how you get podium anyway.
I think Twan's still going. He just might have had a technical difficulty or something with his setup. That's all. So he's still powering away out there.
Do you reckon he ripped his steering wheel off? I think someone's steering wheel failed, didn't they? I think it was 2001. Was it Kimi Raikkonen's steering wheel fell off, didn't it? And he drove into the Byron Imola.
I don't remember that, but I just remember him in Baku going gloves and steering wheel. So when he was being rolled down the pit lane with no steering wheel in his car, and he didn't have his racing gloves on, did he?
I don't blame him for that one though, because it was a bit chilly that day in Baku, wasn't it? Because there's a lot of shade because they're like smack bang right in the centre of Baku city, isn't it? And it's quite a windy city, isn't it? Is it the city of wind or the city of fire? I don't know.
It's a city of fire, mate. Yeah, because of all the oil that they've got. So
okay.
Yeah, it's definitely the city of fire. It was a great Grand Prix. If anyone wants to go out there, it is a great Formula One race to watch. Obviously, if it's on, but yeah, it's and the city's actually really cool as well. Just having a walk around the city is pretty cool.
Have you been there? Have you?
Yeah, 2017. It was. Yeah, I went for the 2017 F1. So yeah, I had a week out there and had a bit of a holiday out there as well. So yeah, it was worth it. And it was it was the race. Yeah, I just remember it because obviously it was the race after the eventful Baku Grand Prix, which was 2016, wasn't it? I think it was. Because that was when Hamilton. That's when Hamilton brake checked Vettel, wasn't it? So
2017 was the one where he brake checked him. 2016 was the boring one, wasn't it?
Oh, it might have been 2018. I went then. Fucking hell, I have no idea. I've lost my memory. But
excuse the French as well, by the way. But then again, we're on your channel, so actually don't worry about it.
Actually, just say whatever you like. It doesn't make a difference. So
now I know why you did want it on the ALR channel, because you can't control your potty mouth.
That's just why I don't do commentary. No, it's all good. So so it's 2018 it must have been then. Yeah, sorry, 2017 was the eventful one, wasn't it? So yeah, that was interesting. Although it was a bit of a shame. It was Lance Stroll, wasn't it, who got on the podium?
He was indeed. I mean, that boy's talented, isn't he? I
mean, what a great talent that guy is. Yeah, Lance Stroll, pay your way to the top and still can't do anything useful, but he's still got a podium there somehow. So he'll have to take it. Got overtaken by Bottas in the last, on the last straight, wasn't it? So that was an entertaining one.
Yeah. Literally inches, wasn't it? But there you go. But Lance Stroll must have some talent in him, because he did qualify really well in Monza in a very difficult qualifying session, wasn't it? He was absolutely bucking it down. I remember that qualifying session quite fondly, actually, because I had a pretty heavy night the night before. So I just remember being very ill on that Saturday and just watching qualify whilst being hung over the toilet. So I always remember that one quite well.
You got TV in the bathroom then, have you, Sean? That's nice.
I know. When I was mega rich, way back in my youthful days.
Oh, where's it all gone? It's all gone on TVs, hasn't it? You've got TVs everywhere in every room.
I was ashamed about the internet, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that could help. But I was going back to the closest battle on track I've got here is VTOD on Echo, and obviously, Echo had a bit of a cameo in Silver, didn't he? The other day in Singapore. It didn't go to plan for him, did it? So, but VTOD, he's one of those ones that I like VTOD because you don't know what you're going to get from him, because sometimes he's great and sometimes he's a bit inconsistent and he's not performing to how he's done in previous races and things like that. So and especially in qualifying, you can have a great qualifying from him, or you can have one that's not so good. So he's all over the place really, but he's a great driver as well, and really respectful and clean on track as well.
I think since Monaco this year, VTOD has really turned it up a notch. I've got to say, the Monaco qualifying for me always stood out for VTOD. He was absolutely fantastic. He was nailing all the quarter speeds, entry speeds. He was fantastic. And I think in the races, though, it just seems to go backwards. It just doesn't seem right. The VTOD just seems to drop off the pace. I would describe him as like a Jarno Trulli kind of driver, but I hope that's not being disrespectful. Trulli was amazing in qualifying, but in the race, he just seemed to just didn't seem to have the pace there, did he? So, which I can completely understand, because when I try and make a cameo in one league races, I usually qualify near enough in midfield, top 10, and in the race, I'm just slower than I'm just slower than Maldonado, for example. No, Maldonado would have raced, didn't he? I'm slower than Bader. That would do. So yeah.
Well, it's a fine sort of line between getting your qualifying pace right and getting your race pace right, because obviously your setup's all about your setup there, obviously, but and you want to get the best setup to do the fastest lap in qualifying to obviously get you higher up the grid at the start, but you don't want it to compromise your race pace, because obviously there's a lot of differences. You've got your fuel on board, you've got all sorts of different things that you have to manage, like your fuel, like your ERS and things like that. Whereas on your quali lap, you don't have to worry about that sort of stuff, do you?
Well, to be honest, I don't really worry about that stuff anyway. I don't know where my setups come from, to be honest, so that's kind of half the problem. I usually try and copy Dan Murphy's setups, but I'm not sure if he's a very good driver, to be honest. I think I need to find someone else, don't I, really?
Yeah, I think you're probably better off going for Glock or going for Granty or something like that, because these guys are right at the top here, albeit 12 seconds apart, and Granty is coming into the pits. But Glock has stayed out, so Glock's still going 17 laps on those soft tyres.
And Granty's got a new helmet as well. It's a lovely black with golden star there. Ooh, very nice indeed.
Let's have a look at the helmet, because obviously Sean wants to talk about the helmets, guys.
I quite like that helmet. That's a very nice helmet, actually. That's really.
Oh, what a helmet that is! Oh my god, fancy that! Fancy having a helmet.
It's ironic how I talk about Granty's helmet as well, isn't it?
Well, you've got to talk about somebody's helmet, so I'm glad it's somebody else's than mine. So yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't commentate on many of your races. I don't think I've commentated on any of your races for a very long time, Knowlesy. Actually, I think I might have to break the duck and find a race randomly in and just
just no. Just leave it.
This is a great battle between Fisher and Nigel, by the way.
Yeah,
just
I'm on it
coming
now.
out of
So we've got
Grande.
He's purple in the first sector there, Fisher. So he's got the overtake done on Nigel, but Nigel's going to have the DRS, isn't he? Into the after the Lesmos with an M.
Oh, with an M, okay. I thought it was Lesmos.
Just got to get it right, yeah, here and now. But yeah, so I think Nigel's a bit far back, but obviously these two guys have just pitted, recently pitted anyway, so they're on course to finish in the top 10 anyway. So Jeff will be telling them right now that you're in the top 10, everything's all sweet, you're getting some points. Obviously, there's no points. You don't get any points for this race, really. But yeah, they'll be in the points playing positions.
Dropper just reminded me that I'm commentating tomorrow night, so I'll be and I think you're racing it. You're in the Friday night racing thing, so yeah, it looks like I will be commentating on you after all. Knowlesy, and I thought Forza was in the wall there. So I don't worry, I'm giving you a lot of stick, so don't worry about that. I'm good with the banter.
Yeah, you don't want to know Sean. You don't want to know Sean too well, because then if he's commentating on your race, he will just take the piss out of you. And you don't want to know Sean too badly, because he will just talk about you, but he'll just talk shit about you. So it's either way, you're screwed, really, aren't you? So.
Well, that's not true. I mean, I haven't spoken to V Todd yet. I think he's an amazing qualifier. I did call him Trilly though, didn't I? So actually,
there you go.
Right, actually,
just subtle comments. That's all these sly comments coming in. So it's just. We'll go back on board with Fisher, because he's already caught up to Young Lights. He's on 18 lap at old mediums, and obviously Fisher with the fresher soft, so he's got the DRS already. He's going to go for a move, I think, into the Parabolica chicane. Is it a chicane?
Oh, the Ascari, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Parabolica's the last corner. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. Yeah, chicane. I mean Ascari. Yeah, I got it there. I got it there in the end. So he's up to 7th anyway. So that's great, wonderful stuff. So don't worry about me. Sean does the commentary usually, so don't listen to what I'm saying.
Well, I've got to say, I was actually watching a classic, the Singapore Grand Prix from 2017 or 16, and I've horrifically realised that I've been saying the I think it's the Boulevard Straight or something like that, or I can't remember, but I've been saying the wrong straight for the last streams I've been on, which so that's quite embarrassing. So every Singapore race I've commentated on, every time I'm going to listen to that now, I realise that I'm wrong. So
the Vuvuzela Straight, is it?
Yeah, it's the DRS straight. I thought it was after the Anderson Bridge, so that's really broke me. So yeah, that's why you're in the coach box. I thought that was the. What was it? It begins with P, doesn't it, or something like that? I don't know. That straight, the one on the Anderson Bridge, or after the Anderson Bridge, is the P straight. I don't think I don't even know what straight that is anymore. I thought it was the. I don't know. I've been rattled.
Something Boulevard. You said on Monday and Sunday as well. But I don't know what it means.
No. Well, let's just say that's not right. So
oh, great. Okay. So anything Sean told you in commentary is just bullshit. So
exactly. I don't even know if I get half the corners right. They just sound right. Grant is all over the rear of V Todd, by the way, and oh my gosh, I've got a tower.
You've got a tower suddenly. It's just appeared. I'll tell you what you've done. You've pressed the square button, haven't you? And you've just removed the spectator menu, and you've had that for the whole of the race so far. I can't believe you. It's just this bumbling guy from the forest, bumbling along.
Well, to be fair, I did try racing on Tuesday, and after that race on Tuesday, I haven't put the F1 game on since. And if I go to sleep, then wake up the next day. If I haven't written something down, then I'll forget about it. So yeah, so my life is a long. And we got an amazing steal that's just joined.
Wow!
Let's just hope he's hard enough.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad he's here to watch what's going on. I don't know how he's managed to get here, but that's all right. Welcome to the session. So
I gotta say, these guys need to take Boris Johnson's advice more seriously. People say to stay in, while I think he needs to stay out, don't he?
Well,
anyway.
I mean that's absolutely a brilliant joke there, Sean. I mean, everybody laughed. So yeah, well done, mate. That was a great joke.
It's this monster. I don't know. Since I fought this monster, I've just I started drinking at about 6 o'clock because I was really low on energy because I've had a bit of a yeah. I haven't done
had
that.
a fun day at work.
The monster's kicked in. Yeah, exactly. And he'd left. Then,
oh dear, I didn't like watching this anymore, so he's gone now. But we'll see him back another time. But anyway, so I think the closest battle is Nigel, Twan and Young Lights on track at the moment, so down in 8th, 9th and 10th. So we'll see. I think it'll be Nigel getting Young Lights on the main straight now, isn't it? Oh, sorry, VTOD has been overtaken by Fisher. So what do I know?
And well, Nigel's also overtaken Young Lights as well. So he was about there. He was in the.
Well, I knew something was going to happen. Oh, Sam's gone. What's happened to Sam?
No,
I think he's disconnected as well. So yeah, we're down to 11 now. We're not halfway through yet. So that was that was close. We've got Fisher going for an overtake on Echo into the second chicane. Sorry, keep. Oh, no, he's having a bit of a bump and grind there from Echo. He's not letting him through easy, is he? So being shoved about a bit there. Well, there you go. So being shoved about there by Fisher.
That also sounds like my Saturday night as well. Not being shoved by Fisher, but getting shoved out the way.
Well,
I've got to say,
somebody's doing the
shoving. Certainly at me, it's usually getting shoved out the club. And I wish I got to say I do miss a good old club.
Of course you do, mate. Of course you do.
Anyway, yeah.
I think. Sorry, just one step back to the race. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to cut you off on your wonderful stories about the club, but I think Glock's going to try and go for the rest of the race on those mediums now, because obviously he did 22 laps on the softs, and he's come out in P2, so he's got the opportunity to go for it. And yeah, obviously Stringy has got to pit as well at some point in the race, so he'll probably take that place back quite quickly anyway, because he's going to be on fresh mediums.
Oh, goodness me! Twang there didn't really know about his spatial awareness there and cut Nigel off in his prime. And, well, it was, gosh, I've got to say, that's good car control from Nigel. Yeah, Twang there, I think, forgot Nigel was there and basically cut across the racing point. And, gosh, that would have been a big old smash, wouldn't it? And you're saying the Glock's only second.
You go, mate. Sorry, Nigel's an underrated racer. I think he's absolutely brilliant in terms of keeping it clean. And being really quick at it as well at the same time. So, having said that, I bet he'll have a crash now. But obviously, he's one of those reliable guys who will always finish the race, unless something terrible happens. But yeah, usually pretty much always finish the race, and he does it quickly as well. So he's well, as you can see, he's third in the standings for gold at the moment. So, and we're 11 rounds into the season. So he's got some good points, good pace, and good car control all over the shop, I think.
That was very wildly done there, Knowlesy, because we were just I was just watching Knowlesy. When you say good car control, I thought he was in the wall, to be honest, but he absolutely showed why he's a great driver. Remember, he's the first ever ALR champion as well, wasn't he, Nigel was?
Yeah,
and that was no easy feat as well. Yeah, he was. He came in and basically just stormed his way to the top of the standings there, and then since then he's been very consistent, hasn't he? Last season he started 4 races in there, and he had a really poor start to his to 2019, didn't he? As the Lights and Nigel there are just getting very frisky there, aren't they, out of turn 1? Very. I think the 2 meter rule definitely doesn't apply in here, does it? Gosh, they were very close together as they come over Curva Grande there. Now you could say that was quite grande, wasn't it?
It was Ariana Grande, mate. It was Ariana Grande. Absolutely brilliant.
Anyway,
My
one last
favourite,
time.
my favourite artist. Yeah. Anyway, what were we saying? So back to the lead, back to the race. Sorry, Glock's taken over the lead now from Stringy on those fresh mediums, so he's going to be going for it now, and I think that's going to be it. We won't see him for the rest of the race because I'm not going to spectate him anymore. I don't like him. He's too far ahead. So we'll have to go back to Young Lights and Nigel. We're following these guys around. These are the closest guys on track. Everybody else seems to be about 2 seconds or so apart now. So yeah, I told you there'll be gaps. So it seems like there's 2 ghost cars right at the back who are, I think they've probably been lapped by now, or almost. But yeah, I mean the 11 guys who are still in the session doing a really good job. Oh, Nigel's gone.
Spinning around.
He's going to have to go for a pit into the pits, is he? No, he's escaped the pits. He's escaped the pits there, and he's had a little spin, but he'll be able to get back going. Obviously, there's no damage to the car. And FIFA Beefy's going to go for it. He's unlapping himself here.
The audacity of FIFA Beefy. I like Nigel's version of Kylie Minogue spinning around there, isn't it? That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we should have quickly played it whilst he was going around, but yeah, unfortunately missed that. But or fortunately in my case, because otherwise you'd have to start singing it, and I don't want to hear that. But but yeah, so back to Forza and Young Lights. So these guys, I believe they sort of used to race together in other leagues and other divisions and things like that. But they have raced together in silver, haven't they? Yeah, you carry
Nigel's just gone over the sleeve of policeman there. He's spun it again now, Nigel. So I wonder if the tyres are just screaming too hot and he just needs to cool it down a bit and then get back on his way. Anyway, as you were.
Yeah, give him a cool down and they'll be back. They'll be all right. I've only done 10 laps on those, so well, as we've seen, Stringy's done 25 laps on those tyres, so they've got another 15 to go at least. So yeah, they'll be all right for another few laps. I think these guys they're doing one stops and they're managing to make it work anyway. It looks like in terms of doing a one stop race in this one instead of doing a 2 stop, as I thought.
Smug face. I did. Yeah. I thought it would be a one stop.
Everybody always does it. I mean, everybody always does it to me. So, to be fair, I've seen you fall for it as well. So, everybody's in terms of strategies, it's all over the place sometimes, isn't it? So, yeah, I think we've got Granty who's already pit for the soft tyres. So he's done 2 stints. This is his second stint at the moment on the soft tyres. So he's doing a 2 stop for sure. Onto the back of Paulie Orange.
Yeah, Paulie Orange, a little devil, isn't he? So to speak, with that 666 there. But Granty there coming up to the back of him now, and Granty's got some pace, but he's not using DRS at the moment. Do you reckon his DRS has failed there, or do you reckon he's just forgot about it? I doubt Granty would have forgot about it because he's a very experienced driver, Granty's, isn't he?
I think it was
a failure.
And I think it was on at the beginning of earlier on in the straight. I think he might have just. Oh, we've got it's Fisher in 5th, who's going slowly out of the Ascari. I keep trying to say Parabolica. It's the Ascari chicane. Parabolica is the last corner. Get it right. But yeah, he must have had a bit of a mix-up going around the final chicane there, and we've got Granty ahead of Paulie Orange, and obviously Young Lights has jumped Fisher, who might be going into the pits now, maybe.
He's taking a very acute angle, so he is going in the pits, isn't he?
Yep, he's in the pits, so he'll be going on to the mediums, I guess. Oh no, he won't. He'll be retiring from the session, I guess. So we'll, that's another retirement, but unfortunately. So yeah, we'll crack on whack with Paulie Orange and Granty. And Granty's on the back of Stringy now, so he's trying to get back up into 2nd position.
Stringy once again there, because in Mexico he survived very long on soft tartars, I think it was. He did a really good job there, Stringy did in that race, and I think he deserves a lot more than what he got out of that Mexican Grand Prix. Once again, String doing a very good job of keeping his tires in the window, and Grant there just selling him the dummy up the outside through. Here he goes, there he goes. Oh, but Stringy's having a good old look on the inside there, but. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, as they say, do they? But Paulie Orange there is going to be on the back of Stringy in the not too distant future, by the looks there.
Yeah, they're it's a battle of 3, isn't it, at the moment, with Granty leading. So, Samuel's joined. Oh, Sam's going to be back in the race. That's good. He's only a lap down or 2, but yeah, at least he can get back in his car and get some points, hopefully, in the end of this race. Well, he's in 11th now, so yeah, he's only 1 position away from points. So that'd be good for him.
Remember what my rookie used to say, anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. And V Todd there is showing Twang an outside wheel there, which was a bit, which was very interesting indeed, very fruitful. But Twang is now through and up into 5th position.
He's got him.
And a good overtake there from Twang there. For a ALR veteran, Twang has been. He's been here since the get-go, really, hasn't he? Me and him shared a commentary box back in Bahrain season 1, and that was an experience which he will never forget. And he also...
and he's since never come back.
Yes, he has. He tries to be nice and asks every now and again, "Oh, could I commentate with you?" But then, and then when it gets serious, he's like, "Oh, I got a nut problem." So yeah, which I think is always ironic.
It's the fairest shout. You don't want to be in this comments box with Sean, really, do you? So you just don't want to do it. Just don't do it. So.
I wish he would lead me down the garden path, though. I get my hopes up, and then he just cuts me off at second base. It breaks me.
Oh dear.
There's even a sniffle there as well.
Yeah, someone's got the flu. So we got. I think it's Paulie Orange now on the back of Stringy. So we'll probably see this overtake. Or what? Both of these guys still need to pit. So are they going to pit? Nope. They're going to carry on. 28 laps now. Sorry, on the medium compound tyres.
Very good stuff indeed, though. Keeping those tyres nicely in the range there. Good stuff there from both drivers. Absolutely good stuff indeed there. I got to say, Paulie Orange there is one of the newest drivers in ALR Silver. I think he's done a fantastic job, hasn't he? Paulie Orange has. I think Germany. He was so unlucky with the puncture, wasn't he? Otherwise, he was having a great race on those intermediate tyres, battling in 3rd, 4th position, I think it was. Of course, I remember Germany for the wrong reasons, dodgy internet and all that kind of jazz. Which was, I got to say, it was I was more annoyed that I disconnected in the race. Qualifying ain't too bad. I can live with qualifying, but yeah, I missed the first several laps of the race. And then what made it worse is I even had my mic on and mute as well, so I was getting very hot and sweaty for no reason at all. And that's one thing I don't like doing is making work when I don't really need to.
Yeah, well, that was a silver race, wasn't it? It was a great race, that one, and I think it was, it was a wet race all the way through, wasn't it? And obviously, Paulie Orange decided let's stick on this set of intermediates and just go for the whole thing. He was very close to doing it as well, but unfortunately, like you said, he came across a bit of a puncture, didn't he? I can't remember which tyre it was, but. He didn't have much luck towards the end of that race. We've got Stringy in the pits very late there, getting a 5-second penalty, but he's going to be putting on the soft tyres, I think, and then
to be fair, that's
Paulie
quite
Orange.
easy to do. That is quite easy to do, isn't it, getting a penalty on this track, though, because that line comes up way too early, in my opinion. I reckon they need to pull it back a slight more. We're all about safety of the pit crew and all that stuff, but there's me saying it needs to be a bit more closer to the pit lane. So obviously I don't really count for safety too much.
Well, speaking of pit lanes, I think you can't really complain about Monza's pit lane in terms of the space. And I think the worst one is actually Belgium, because trying to get into that pit lane is a nightmare, and trying to get out of that pit lane is a nightmare as well, to be fair. So.
If I ever visit Spa, I don't think I'll be allowed in the pit entry because I'll probably get wedged between the barriers and won't be able to get out. So,
just trying to roll you into the pit lane, but they can't.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I can imagine you rolling down the straight towards Eau Rouge now.
Just like, oh no. I like the old Belgian pit lane. No, the old Belgian pit lane was really good. Because on the old F1 games, we got a yellow flag in free because we got a Mercedes off. I think it's Sam. Is it? It is Sam just visiting the Scary gravel trap there. So having life's a beach, isn't it? And I think Sam's really enjoying himself out there. He's just getting out there now. But yeah, I like the old Belgian pit lane. On the old F1 games, of course, when the penalties weren't really applied so stringently, I used to put the difficulty up to hard and pretend I was all, Billy Big Bollocks, and used to fly through the final turn, and you used to win on hard because you can cheat, couldn't you?
Well, you got if there's a bit of a glitch in the game or something you can do, you got to exploit it, haven't you? So
definitely.
you were well within your rights too, mate. It's fine.
Oh, it was, and what made it worse is no one around to actually judge me either. Unfortunately, today with YouTube and all that kind of stuff, you're judged every opportunity by the looks of it. As Echo's retired from the session as well, so unfortunately,
So Sam is in the
Sam
points.
will get some.
Congratulations to
He
Sam.
carries on for one more lap then. So if I was Sam, I'll be buzzing. As you heard on, I think it was Friday, wasn't it, or Saturday, or whenever it was we raced. I think it was in Austria last week. I was absolutely buzzing. I got 10th position. Which is a Stringy's league actually as well. So a Stringy
was it out of 10? Was it out of 10 people?
10.
Okay.
No,
well,
wait, there was 11. There was 11. Someone else.
Okay.
They technically retired, but it doesn't matter. They still classified, so that's all that matters to me. So yes,
that's
I did
all
beat
right,
one
then.
person today.
Yeah, congratulations, well done, mate. Whenever Sean gets a point, it's an achievement. So.
I got drawn the day the other week. I was well buzzing.
Congratulations. I just want to note back to this race because I keep going off topic. But Stringy's jumped Paulie Orange in the pits because he pit a lap earlier. He's got the undercut by over 2 seconds. Those two were very close together, weren't they, before the pit stops?
They were indeed, and I think that you just kind of got to judge it really. Only the undercut isn't the undercut. I don't think the undercut would be too powerful around here, but. Yeah, and not doing too bad at all then. Sam was also coming to the back of Echo as well, so Sam will now be in front of Echo when he comes around the final turn, which is good stuff indeed then. So Sam there just keeping himself honest. Lovely stuff indeed. Glock is still 7.8 seconds in front of Grant at the moment, who is second. I've got to say, selfishly from my point of view, I want to see the battle between Grant and Glock. And at the moment, Glock does seem to have the legs, so to speak, over Grant. He's trying doing a good job in third position as well, but Stringy in lights there. Goodness me.
Battling into the Lesmos with an M.
Excuse me?
Yes.
That kind of behaviour is not followed.
Bless you. Lights has done 31 laps on those medium tyres, and he's still putting up a really good fight with Stringy here. So I think you might have to ditch those tyres in a minute and come into the pits. Paulie Orange on the back of it already now.
Yeah, Paulie Orange on the super soft tyres, isn't he? As he's flying around Monza. Monza's not really known
what colour are those
hard.
then? I thought they meant those are going to be what, pink or something, aren't they? That's Hypersoft sort of colour.
Well,
Indigo. Oh, right. Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry. Indigo, not salmon pink. Okay, whatever. So...
I don't think anyone else agrees with me on this point, but I quite miss the multicoloured tyres of having Hypersoft, like having the Hypersoft pink tyres, the Ultra Soft purple and stuff like that. I don't know why. I just quite liked having different coloured tyres for like the race and stuff. And it's because I got a bright personality, obviously, and I just like bright colours.
It shines through, mate. It really does.
Yeah. Like my ginger locks in the sunset.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, there's that. So it's just, oh god, that image. It's just that image. It's just yeah. Okay, we'll go on to something else quickly. So yeah, we've got Glock. I think Grant is going to have to pit again because they've both been on those softs for quite a long time now. And we've seen with Stringy, obviously, that they lasted about, 23, 24 laps, didn't they? So, oh no, we didn't.
Was Grant and Twan both on the medium tyres?
No, I think they were on the soft tyres. They were on the soft tyres, I believe, yeah.
I'm not sure if that strategy's going to give them the ultimate, it's not going to give them the best kind of options, is it? We're on lap 34 out of 53. They're going to go on the medium tyres. Those medium tyres can go quite a long way in this race. So they're going to be on medium tyres, which N is grippy, N is quick, and I just don't think it's going to get the maximum. They ain't going to extract the maximum life out of those tyres there. So I think they might have made a strategy mistake there. Says the ginger guy up here who
gets a strategy on the spot every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll rely on this guy.
I'd also remember I got to throw this nugget in there as well. I did beat Granty a couple of weeks ago as well. So
Yeah, that was in the race that you finished. Well done. That was with a race with damage on, guys. So it was an achievement and a half. So anytime Sean gets in the car, everyone's in danger. But no, he finished that one, so that was good. To be fair, I'm even worse now. I'm even worse than you now, mate, because I put traction control off. So yeah, I'm a spin hazard. Put it that way. So yeah, it's a bit dangerous sometimes.
They call it Alex Vettel, don't they? Or
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
Sebastian Knowlesy, that sounds better.
Sebastian Knowlesy, yeah. I've changed her name legally with the government and everything.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's all sorted now, mate. Yeah, it's in the. I'll have to change it in the chats and everything now in a minute as well. But
Oh, don't do that. I struggle with people's names.
You struggle with anybody's name.
I know. I struggle with my name as well. That's why I wrote my name on all my labels. Twang's got a 5-second penalty again for speeding in the pits.
Yeah, and he's going to be in.
Oh!
What type of tyre is he going to be in for then? It is the medium tyre, so that's going to easily get him to the end of the race.
And we got Nigel is now getting pressured by Forza, and we've also got Young Knights in as well. It seems like Young Knights seems to attract a lot of battles, doesn't he? He's always in these like little battles, isn't he? Young Knights, isn't he? Oh, my goodness me, he's also blistering, isn't he? He's flying with that fast stuff. And we've also got Twang being involved as well. I've got to say, this is a tasty little battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th here. Oh, never mind. Forza's
what is he doing?
Goodness me!
He's just come back so dangerously and smashed into Nigel. I'm sure Nigel's not very happy with that. No, that wasn't great driving, was it? But yeah, well, I think, like you said, well, back here, it's Silver League, Gold League. Obviously, it's been a bit complicated with some races, but it's definitely a talented list of drivers. Obviously, Nigel being one of them, and Young Lights. I think he joined the league. It was a bit late. I can't remember when he joined now. Actually, it was just after the season started, but it wasn't off the start, was it? I don't think.
He is Knowlesy.
I'm sorry, mate. I have no idea.
He debuted in Abu Dhabi last year, and then I think he was a part of the. I think he was a reserve driver to begin with, wasn't he? Before becoming a full-time driver, but so he was floating in and out in various cars before he did making the step up to the Red Bull team. And partner in Matt as well in that Red Bull team. And I've got to say, Young Lights is really... oh, goodness me! Forza's decided to make a late entry into the pit lane there. And, that's probably why he's...
yeah, okay. Well, that's Sam up to 9th now, so that's even better for him. So, yeah. That's fair enough. I mean, as I said, it's a long session, isn't it? But, no, I think going back to Young Lights, obviously, and he said it himself, he had a really disappointing first few races in Gold. Didn't get many points. I think he was on 2 points after the first sort of 4 or 5 races he'd actually participated in as a full-time driver. That was, but yeah, since then, obviously Australia being one where he got on the podium. Since Australia, which was round 7, so 4 rounds ago, he's been getting some big points pretty much every race since then, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I think Young Lights is one of the stars for the future, definitely, and I feel that I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can, how he can progress and stuff like that. But as I've always said in the past, I've always really looked forward to seeing what, like for example, I remember last season Dan finished 4th in the championship, didn't he? This season he's I don't know, Twang now. I thought it was going in the wall then. My bad. I just looked up and said like a load of gravel, so I just assumed he was in the wall. Granted, coming the pits, come out on the medium tires then, so those tires go to the end. But yeah, as I was saying about Dan, he was 4th last season, wasn't he? I was expecting big things from him this season. He's had a bit of a monstrous start, hasn't he, in the wrong way. And same with Jonathan Cox as well, who had a really good season last season with 3rd, but it just hasn't come to fruition. But then again, Jonathan Cox had some incredible pole laps, but again in the races, it just doesn't seem to all tie together, does it? It's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean obviously in the race you've got a bit more, like this one, for example. I mean, this is a long race, but it's all about the endurance and obviously concentration. Not saying you don't have to be concentrated for the qualifying, of course, but yeah, it's making sure that you've got your head on right, so that you just keep going. And obviously, when you come across some adversity, some little problems like you do in league racing, obviously sometimes you get complications with other drivers on track and things like that, wing damage, etc. But you've got to keep your head on and keep going. And obviously, Jonathan does that as well. I think he's really good at that. He has been involved in some incidents on track where he's had to change his strategy, and it's affected his race and his point scoring positions, but he keeps his head on and he keeps going, which is good.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. There's nothing. I'd never keep my head for anything. So,
well, it's no point putting your head on. I mean, Sean, there's no point putting your head on. Everybody else can do it and just do it for you. So don't worry about it.
Well, if I think racing around Monaco, of course, that's the ultimate race where you need to have your head on, screwed on right. Well, I think it was first, second lap, I lost my head because basically because I just drove into the barrier. So yeah, that race is one race which I'll be trying to forget in a hurry. Unfortunately, a lot of the drivers I've scarred that day, so they won't be forgetting that in a hurry.
Oh dear. This is another one where if Sean's participating, there's going to be problems. not necessarily because of Sean, but yeah, you know, most of the time. So it'll be interesting. Oh, Nigel has gone for another spin. He saved it, but he went for another spin there. So he's going to be. Oh, Sam's a lap down, isn't he? So yeah, he's got Sam on his back, but yeah, he's obviously a lap down, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's beefy, isn't it? But yeah, it's a bit more spread out now. Obviously, Glock's got over a 30-second lead at the moment. He's absolutely going for it. But Stringy will be eating into that at the moment on the softer compound tyres. And then we've got Granty and Paulie Orange, who are the closest battle on track at the moment.
Yeah, they're starting to catch up now, aren't they? Granty's done on the medium tyres, 2 laps on the medium tyres. Paulie Orange, Granty there again, his back end stepping out there, isn't he? He puts on a bit of welly there.
The joys of no traction control. That's the joys of no traction control, mate. It's absolutely a pain to get used to. So yeah, Granty's obviously chosen to start on that now, but he's doing a good job. Obviously, he's still really quick, as you can see, as he's seen in this race, but. Yeah, I mean the slightest sort of over input on the throttle. I know Grant is on controller, so on the R2 button basically, and it will send that car into a spin with no hesitation. So it's just something that's really difficult to get to grips with and get used to because it's a nightmare. But it's absolutely rapid if you get it right. So there is benefits to it.
You could say that Granty's definitely very much in control, isn't he, with his controller?
Oh, very good, mate. Yes, wonderful. Oh, Sean, these jokes are amazing.
I don't know what's wrong. I know.
You're coming out
I
with
need a
pure
monster
fire.
more often. I'm going to have a monster. Oh, is that a ginger joke? I'm going
yes.
I got to say that, Tom.
I was looking at McLaren and I saw orange, so yeah. But yeah, it's Paulie Orange
anyway.
now. Sorry. You carry on. It's Paulie Orange on the back of Stringy now, so it could be a McLaren 1-2 at the finish here.
I got to say, they're both from silver as well, aren't they? So really showing up the gold boys, aren't they, so much? But of course, this isn't about gold and silver. It's just about having a bit of fun with the lockdown which is going on at the moment. 13 laps to go. I got to say, this race, we've been an hour race now, and it hasn't really dragged by at all. I think it might be because of the bants in the commentary box. I highly doubt that. Or it might
I doubt,
be
that's definitely not that. Racing. It's definitely not that. It must be the racing because, luckily these guys have put on a good show. Otherwise, everybody would be bored to death. I would anyway. So yeah, with me and Sean commentating. So so I'm glad these guys have put on a good race, and obviously, like you said, it's a bit of fun. I don't know many people who do 100% races very, very regularly. I used to do career mode back in the day when I raced career mode. Well, I've given up on it now, but it was probably like 2017, 2016 game when I used to do career mode, and I do the whole season on 100%. Which wasn't fun. It was, yeah, exactly. It wasn't fun. Luckily, you could save in between, like whilst you're in a race and stuff like that, to go out and get something to eat or something like that. But it was just it still was a bit of a tough task. So yeah, I can't imagine any of these guys are having too much fun right now. 41 laps in, so almost 10 laps to go. But as I said, it's just in the spirit of the lockdown community. Of all of us who are stuck in our homes, who can't go outside, and when that's pretty much it, really. That's just a bit of fun to ease the pain.
And talking of easing the pain, Sam there just went off the track there slightly at Oscari. He's back on now. Stringy just blasted past Paulie Orange there down the back straight. Young Lights has got a shortcut and got a 10-second penalty there, so that's quite a harsh penalty. We've also, and I think he's coming in the pits when the Red Bulls are. Oh, it's Nigel that's just in the pits as well. Sam is facing the wrong way at Parabolica. He's really struggling with that car at the moment. Nigel's left the session. They are now dropping like flies, aren't they, with just 10 laps to go. Poorly Orange there is really interested in Stringy's diffuser by the looks of that. Oh my goodness me, he's going to be able to draw that diffuser by the end of this race if he doesn't get by as quickly as possible. Especially when we've got Granty that is sort of bear down on him as well. We might have a 3-car battle for second position here. Knowlesy looking very tasty.
Would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, it seems like these guys are going to be the ones putting on the show at the end of the race, because the gaps everywhere else seem to be quite a bit more spread out. And obviously, Poorly Orange, he's not going to get the move done on this chicane. So he's going to have to wait until the second DRS zone, I think, because unless Stringy gets a bad run out of here. But no, you did ignore that voice crack, didn't you? Good. Cheers, mate. Yeah. And Granty, Granty was battling these guys. I thought he was right in front of these guys, wasn't he? And it seems like he's dropped back a bit. Maybe he's saving some ERS, ready for an attack towards the end of the race. But yeah, it's he's going to get into the DRS zone now. So yeah, he will get some. It looks like he might get some DRS from these guys now, just about. But Poorly Orange, can he go for the move here? Let's have a look.
I think he's slightly out there, wasn't he, Nosey on Granty there, so Granty needs to speed up a bit. Poorly Orange there is up the inside going into the Scar chicane. That's absolutely crisply done, isn't it? Beautiful stuff there from Poorly Orange. If I had an overtake like that, that is exactly how I would have done it. So the problem with that,
though, the problem with it is that obviously Stringy's going to get DRS down the main straight, which is a bit longer, and obviously that means the DRS is more powerful. So he's going to get him straight back, I think. Let's have a look. I think Stringy's going to get him. I think Stringy's going to get him. He's going to get him straight back, and it's just going to be switching positions for the rest of the race every lap. So he's not using his. He just switched his DRS off, but he's still got the move done. He's still got it done. So very calculated from Stringy. He didn't know he knew he didn't have to use all the DRS, because he might as well just open it halfway down the straight.
As cool as a cucumber, isn't he? Stringy was there.
Exactly.
I would have. I would have been as cool as a cucumber. I'm more of a cool orange. Talking of orange,
really?
Poorly Orange is going to go on the outside. I thought he was going to go on the outside down to the second chicane now, but. I've got to say, that second chicane has caused a lot of drivers some issues tonight, hasn't it? But clipping too much curb and just spinning off there. Younglight's got another 10-second penalty. I think he's trying to equal my tally of 25 seconds when I raced last time out on Saturday. So that record's not going to be broken now. Younglights, you might get disqualified first. That Poorly Orange once again going on the outside there. Oh, lovely stuff indeed there. But once again, as you mentioned earlier on, Knowlesy, that I think that... I think Stringy's just going to be sitting there as calm as you like, and he's just going to go for it going into turn one there. But I've got to say, they're very pessimistic. I would be absolutely loving the fact that I've just got in front of Stringy. So never mind.
He's gone for it. He's gone for it much earlier now. He's gone for it in the Parabolica, so he's going to. I think he might have DRS still as well, so he'll be ahead before the DRS zone actually opens.
No, I think Poorly Orange has got it.
Oh no, he's got it. Yep, sorry. Yep, you're the one who commentates. Usually, you should know. But all this battling has given Granty an incentive to get on the back of them as well. So it's now literally 3 cars, as you can see. It's now 3 cars side by side with each other. So it's
nose to tail.
Nose to tail. That's what I meant. Not side by side. You know what I meant. So you got it right. So that's all right. But let's brought Granty back in. So he's right on the back of these guys now, and it looks like it's going to be a battle of who saved the most ERS, which at the moment is Granty, and who's going to get... what's happening with Younglights? He's got through on V Todd. I don't know how many corner cuts he did to get that move done, but I'm going back to Poorly Orange. Oh yeah, and Younglights is in the wall. So I'll go back to Poorly Orange, who's going to get the DRS again on Stringy, and is he going to get the move done? Into Ascari, which I've got right first time this time, and it is done. But again, Stringy, Granty are going to come right back at him down the main straight.
Well, it might not even be the main straight, but Stringy there looks like he's hanging back.
It's going to be 3 wide, is it? Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, that is going to be interesting.
Blasphemy, Knowlesy.
Oh, blasphemy. I meant holy bananas.
Moly, holy moly.
Yeah, the holy moly, that's what I meant. But let's see what Stringy's going to do. Yeah, Stringy's definitely got him. Is Granty going to follow him as well? Granty's going to come through as well.
I could send it, Granty. Send it like a stamp.
No, he missed it.
He hasn't.
He missed the collection time on that one.
Oh, Stringy's got a bit wild there, and
it's going to be 3 wide. It's going to be 3 wide. Oh, it's been a bit of ghosting there, but and Granty's through. I don't know if Stringy's through.
Yeah, he is through.
Poorly Orange is through. Yeah, Yeah, they've literally switched positions. Well, they haven't really. It's now gone.
They've reversed
Paulie,
themselves.
it was Paulie, Stringy, Granty, and now it's Granty, Stringy, Paulie. So almost switched positions.
Have a rewind.
Yeah, we'll have a rewind of that. Yeah. But well, we're going to have a rewind of this anyway. We've still got 8 laps or so to go, and they're both right. They're all 3 of them are right together still. Young Lights has got past VTOD again into the second chicane.
Tournament is a traditional ALR race, isn't it? Basically, we're like Formula E. We just like to have a great start, and then it all calm in the middle, and then in the end they just decide to go in guns blazing, don't they? Sounds like my Call of Duty strategy, really. But run and gun. But these guys are doing a fantastic job in terms of entertainment, aren't they? Good stuff indeed. I'm loving this. Sorry, my work just texted me there. Carry on.
I'm just interested to see if I don't know if Sam's going to do it, because Nigel's car's still on track, but it's ghosted, so it's going to be going slower in the corners. Sam is just coming up to the second chicane now, and Nigel is coming up to the first chicane, obviously a lap ahead. So I don't know if Sam is going to get P8 or not, because he's only got a few laps to catch up with that ghost car.
I reckon Sam will do it.
Go on, Sam, you've got to do it. Go on, mate. Hopefully he can.
I reckon Sam will do it. I bet my whole Formula 1 career he will do it.
Started P2 as well, Sam did. Just have a look at the position changes. So we've got Glock, who's up 12, Granty up 5, Stringy down 2, obviously started on pole. Paulie Orange up 11, so that's not bad, that's not good for everybody else, but it's not bad for Paulie Orange, who's started in P15, which is obviously the last position on the grid actually at the beginning of this race. VTOD down 1 as well, but Young Lights up 6 from P12, and unfortunately everybody else who's still in the race is down positions. But we'll go back to the stops, the tyres rather.
Oh! Stringy and Granty have kind of locked horns, they've come together, and Stringy's facing the wrong way, and the parabolica.
You
there
sure?
you go, Knowlesy.
Oh yeah. So really? I was
sure?
I was just spectating.
What am I watching?
I was just spectating and thinking, I can't see that, and then I realised I was spectating the wrong car. That's why. So, and Stringy's in the pits, so I must be taking his time penalties rather. Young Lights and VTOD look like they're going to go past him, maybe even Twan as well. So, oh no, he's coming out now. So, yep, we'll see where he comes out. I think it's going to be P7.
P7, Stringy, P7.
But is he going to go? He's going to go for it now and set the fastest lap. Yep, VTOD's back in front of Young Lights. I'm sure Young Lights will do something about that at the chicane.
I quite
whether
like
he gets a time penalty.
I've really enjoyed this.
It's been a good battle. I know Young Lights has got quite a few penalties for corner cutting. I saw 2 10-second time penalties pop up, but he's going to go for it down the inside here. And Paulie Orange has got past Granty as well. So it is a McLaren 1-2 at the moment. We've got 5 laps to go.
Sam's gone off in the Ascara chicane. He's done a similar thing to Vettel, but just a bit more extreme now.
He's not enjoying that chicane, is he? This evening anyway. So he's had a few problems there, hasn't he? I think.
The Ascara chicane, though, it's a great little chicane there, isn't it? Because the car just floats on the rear, doesn't it? If you get it right, then it's the best feeling ever. But it's so easy to get it wrong. It's an error generator, isn't it? As Martin Brundle called it.
Definitely, yeah. It's one that if you can sort of go over the curbs and you can clip the curbs at the right angle, and you nail it, and you gain so much time over people who are obviously taking it a bit slower. But if you get it wrong, those curves will just spit you out and put you right into that wall. So it's a very difficult chicane to negotiate, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I've been in the wall a lot of times there. VTOD is now again in front of the Young Lights. He's been in front of Young Lights a lot of times as well. There's Nigel there with the big red X next to him. Unfortunately, as he is out of the race, as he's decided to call it a day, and I think he's probably gone off to enjoy his tea time, hasn't he? Over in Holland, I think. Actually, no, it's probably not.
Oh, don't get the countries wrong. Don't get the countries wrong. I know he's Dutch, yeah. So you're right. But I mean, I was going to say I've done that before. I've got a Belgian and a Dutch person mixed up. So yeah, it's not good. So just for your warning, mate. So
I'm a professional, Knowlesy.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's fair enough. Then that's absolutely fine. So long as you're a professional. then it's all good.
Yeah.
We've got to have Young Lights. I think Young Lights is going to go for another move back and feed Todd into Ascari again. Is he going to make it or not? There's blue flag being raised. I don't know who that's for, but he's not done it.
I got to say, Alex, that Young Lights is very what's the word? He's very actiony, isn't he? I don't know the word, is it? But he's very lively on the steering wheel, isn't he? He does turn the steering wheel quite a lot when I've been on board with him. It's just an interesting driver trait I've just picked up in today's race whilst I've been chilling out with my monster on my bed.
Didn't know I was your monster. So yeah,
oh, yes, you are.
yeah. I have. Well, I think it's obviously when you're on a wheel. I'm not sure. I believe he is. You've got more sort of scope for corrections and making adjustments as you're turning in and turning out rather of the corner. So yeah, it's and I think that's why obviously people say that the wheel was quicker, because obviously you've got more margin and you've got the ability to obviously to make those small corrections like you were if you were driving in real life. If you're driving with a PS4 controller in real life, it'd be more difficult. So obviously, I think the guys on the controller have got used to it. Obviously, they've been playing games and racing games for years now, so you adapt to it. But yeah, when you're on a wheel, I think you've got that scope to make some more sort of minute and smaller corrections that you can't make on an analog stick, for example.
So that's what's not very good at this game. I like it. So I just got to buy a wheel, and I'll be as quick as Glock.
Yeah, buy a wheel and then beat Glock. I mean, it's that simple, really, everyone. So just do it. So someone's got to do it. So
I need to do something in this isolation. So yeah, that's my goal. I feel like Shane Ward there as well.
Who's he? I thought he was a cricketer.
No, Eddie a singer, like off X Factor. Didn't he like win it one year?
I have no idea, mate.
All I know is I really liked one of his songs. So yeah, and, I thought that yeah.
All right then. So good shout out for Shane Warne or whatever his name is there. Then so
I thought Shane Ward. Lights is off the grass. Oh my
Shane
God.
Ward. Okay, Lights should be off the grass. He's meant to be on the tarmac on the grey stuff, but
cross country there.
Well, we'll see. I think these two have been enjoying a good battle for the last sort of 10 laps or so, haven't they? VTOD and Young Lights. So
I think it's been longer than that, man. They've been like second half of the race, haven't it? It's been incredible stuff between those two. Hats off to both of them. I know that the damage is not on and stuff like that, and they probably lost. I think Young Lights probably be in the gallows, so to speak, won't he? Serving his penalty, serving his time, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think VTOD would probably have lost a bit of wing and stuff. But I've got to say, I've really enjoyed that today. I think that's the good thing about no damage, isn't it? It's kind of like gloves off kind of thing. You're just having a bit of fun. And just really racing against like guys that are just not.
Stringy's lost it.
Oh dear! And the Stringy there is met his maker, so to speak, and he's in the wall. Gosh, that was a big smash, wasn't it? I'm surprised his nose aren't broke there. I know damage is not on, but gosh, and he's doing
he's doing a few donuts now just for a bit of fun, and Nigel's goes, he's not overtaking him, but there is a McLaren there. It must be Glock. But is that Glock?
Is that Glock?
I just realised the great opportunity there. Is that Glock? Is that Glock? Oh yeah. So me, Paulie Orange, and Alhan were having a laugh about that in the Discord the other day when we joined the Discord together, and somebody was talking about Glock, so we all had an opportunity to start saying that. Is that Glock? Yeah, it's Glock going too fast. That's what it is. So yeah, we can't have that anymore. So yeah, we've got Glock's in the pit. Glock's decided to pit. So okay, we'll take that if the leader wants to pit. I don't know if Paulie Orange and Granty's they're not going to catch up with him. So he's going to be in and out, still in P1, and Stringy's pit as well. So he's serving his time penalties. It looks like.
Yeah, I think Glock's probably going fast up, isn't he? I think in silver, as Stringy's left the session now, as he was stringing us along there, so he almost got to the end.
Nice one.
Yeah. I think Glock's just going for the Grand Slam again, isn't he? He's had 6 Grand Slams in his 11 races now, which is that is just under half. That is, just over half, isn't it? I don't know. But let's just say that's a lot.
Supreme talent, isn't it? Supreme.
I know it's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? Really, I got to say, I might sound a bit biased in the commentary box with Glock, but I assure you that. Well, not really, am I? Because I don't really see him. But oh gosh, Lights has gone straight to the back of V
What is he doing?
That's
just ridiculous. Young Lights,
yeah,
don't do
really...
that.
And V Todd, oh dear. Yeah, and now we now got some fisticuffs there. I got to say, yeah, I do love a bit of fights every now and again, but yeah, that's just appalling. Yeah, it's appalling.
That's stupid.
I mean, you kind of expect that from someone like myself, really, who doesn't really know where the brake and accelerator is. Yeah, so I think Young Lights is a very quick driver, but sometimes it just. Yeah, that's a shame, really. So that's not good at all.
Oh, well, ignore that now. We'll go back to Paulie Orange and Granty because it's still the battle for P2 and P3 on the final lap now. So Glock's still out in front. I'm pretty sure he'll finish this race first, but we never know. We'll see what penalties we've got. And yeah, so Paulie Orange is now leaving it to the. Oh, he's just had a bit of a slide out there, but he's now leaving it to the second DRS zone, I think, because. I don't think he's going to catch Granty in this section of the track.
I love the way you say Granty. I don't know why. It just sounds different to me. You say Granty.
Granty.
you went Granty there. It sounds like he's French. You said Granty.
Granty. It's Granty. Go on, Granty.
I think you should take it away then and talk about Glock coming across the line there.
Yeah.
Also, I think that this has been your creation, and I'll leave you to it.
Well, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you to all the drivers who've turned up, and to Sean for joining me. Otherwise, I'd be boring your ears off in the commentary box myself. But here comes Glock. I mean, he's an absolute formidable racer, and he wins the 100% race round Monza with a fastest lap, I think, at the very end as well. So he's 20.288 for Glock. So the Grand Slam, like you said, well, not a Grand Slam because he didn't start P1 in qualifying, did he? Because it was a random grid. But yeah, sorry about that. And Granty comes across in second place, followed by Paulie Orange. So very close battle between those guys for, well, most of the second half of the race, I think, actually. So he splits up the McLaren 1-2. It looks like it's going to be a McLaren 1-3 and a Racing Point 2-4. If Twan can hold off Young Lights, I'm sure Young Lights has got enough penalties to not be an issue. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think Vitor's going to finish ahead of Young Lights anyway. But here comes Twan around the parabolica, and it's going to be P4 for Twan. Oh, 5-second unserved penalty, but he still gets his points. And Vitod is passed. Oh, he's not. Vitod is battling Young Lights on the last corner, and they've come together again, which is ridiculous, guys. And Young Lights has decided to drive it into a wall. And actually, Vitod finishes fourth. So there we go. What a result. Twan down in fifth.
I think I'm just to. I think from watching a bit of that, I think that Vitod is drove and apart from where he reacted, I think Vitod did drive quite well considering the fact that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have a look at the standings obviously in a minute, but the penalty situation is obviously what's caused that, and he's done a great job obviously to get less penalties or fewer penalties than the guys above him.
So well done, Knowlesy, by the way, for putting on a great event tonight. Really enjoyed myself.
Cheers, buddy.
Absolutely good stuff. And also, I broke my TV as well. So
what have you done? What have you done this time? I'm going to get some people in here as well. We'll have a quick chat about it as well and see how it goes. And obviously not.
I'll be back in a minute once I get this TV to work.
But yeah, really good job, guys. Well done. And yeah, thanks for joining. And we've just seen something coming up. I'll get the invites going now for this, and we'll get a couple of people in. So thank you very much for joining. Bear with me whilst I get the invites going. Who do you want to invite? This guy. Yeah, of course we're still going, mate. I told you I'm getting the invites in.
Sorry, I was so concentrated on getting this TV to work. Yeah, I went on the standby and then it came back on. It was really dark.
Oh dear. Must be terrifying for you. So,
It was. I almost said my face then. That's something I'm not prepared to do.
oh, that's fair enough. That's all right. Well, we'll just wait for these guys because obviously I couldn't invite them earlier, so we'll wait for a couple of guys to join the party. We've got Paulie Orange in here already. So, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Yeah,
I'll
that was a good one. That one
with a default setup any day.
Oh, I'm gonna be
that was a
honest,
default, was it?
Yeah,
oh, mate.
I didn't quite have enough time to put in a setup, so everyone had like 10, 15 miles an hour down the straight on me.
Oh no! Oh, well, you still did really well. I thought it was going to be a McLaren 1 and 2 on that one, but
I was trying.
I was
trying. I'll take P3.
Good job. Well done, man.
Thank you.
And yeah, Granty's in here somewhere, isn't he? Where's Granty?
Yo.
Do I say? Apparently, I say your name wrong.
What did you say?
I said
Granty.
I said Granty. I say Granty. That's how I say your name.
Grant?
I don't know.
It's got an A in it, not an O.
Yeah, I say Granty. I don't go Granty.
You say Granty.
It's not Granty.
Hey, don't get too tasty with my name, Nosy.
Mate, I can change your name to whatever I want.
The Beast.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, we've got the Beast in here. So yeah, yeah.
I was already here.
How was your race? How did it go? I can't remember where you
Yeah,
started
no,
now.
it was good. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I started P7, and then I got, I don't know, taken clean out before even turn 1. So yeah, no, that was fun.
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah, you dropped down to 14th, didn't you? I remember that now. Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago now.
Yeah, it was definitely a long time ago. That's for sure. No, it was good. I mean, I tried doing something about Glock, but yeah, he just had some decent pace, mate, and I thought I might have had a good chance because some laps I was catching him and then in the end he just went away, flew away. So I was like, well, that's gone. So yeah,
he was pretty quick, wasn't he? I think if you two started on the front row or something, you two would have both shot off.
Yeah, definitely. I did like the battle with Paulie Orange though, man. It's a bit of a shame you had a default setup, as I just heard. But,
that's cool.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy that battle, bro.
No, it was really good. It was good. It was good fun watching it anyway for me and Sean anyway. So, we have 15 guys that all turned up, and I mean about 9 of you I think finished the whole race. But it was a fantastic race anyway to watch. So cheers for turning up.
No problem. Anytime.
Sean, anything you want to say to these two wonderful gentlemen? No.
Well done.
Good.
Sorry, I'm dying for a pee, so I'm hoping that we can wrap this up.
All right, we'll wrap it up. So, thanks for joining ALR Lockdown Laps number 2. We're going to have another one on Saturday. Sorry, it'll be a different format, different type of event, different cars and everything. So, I'll start sending out the invites on that. I'll send the information about that into the chats and stuff this evening. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Cheers.